This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with the Von Erich Iron Claw movie coming out just a few days ago that I did a review of on this channel. It didn't quite live up to expectations, but it wasn't bad. But one of the brothers that they left out of the movie was Chris Adkinson, aka Chris Von Erich. By the way, they all actually went by the name Adkinson. The kids in school, for instance, didn't go by Von Erich, but he passed away at 21 years old. He was the youngest son of Fritz von Erich. He passed away of suicide on September 12th at the Von Erich family ranch in Tyler, Texas. He was the fourth son of Fritz von Erich to die before reaching the age of 25. Apparently, according to the Wrestling Observer, he had talked on the telephone earlier in the day to older brother Kevin and was in despair. At about 9 p.m., Kevin and Doris, the wife of Fritz von Erich, found Chris, who had shot himself 150 yards from the family ranch with a 9mm pistol. He was rushed to the East Texas Medical Center in Tyler, Texas, where he officially passed away at 10:27 p.m. Apparently, he had written a suicide note where he said his family was not to blame for his suicide and he was sorry for doing it. Apparently, Fritz appeared on the Dallas world-class TV show that Friday night, gave the impression that the suicide was due to his inability to come to grips with the fact he wasn't going to make it huge as a wrestler. Of course, he was much smaller than the other Von Erichs, but facially he looked the most like Kerry. Of course, we all know about David's passing, and we won't. There's speculation it had to do with drugs, but was originally reported as intestinal inflammation. Some people allege that it was covered up, but the other Von Erich that passed away that was in the movie is Mike of toxic shock syndrome in late 1985. He was one of the very few males to ever contract the rare disease, according to the Wrestling Observer. He did recover, but was thrown into the ring after only 10 months. He did suffer brain damage, and due to all of his health issues and the inability to live up to expectations, he also killed himself. Sadly, it's very unfortunate. And here's something else interesting. Apparently, Kevin Von Erich nearly died from apparent heart failure in the ring in 1987, needing mouth-to-mouth restoration from Tommy Rogers. Never heard of that one before. Apparently, Chris was around the wrestling dressing rooms for a long time, and even when he was a kid and in high school, so most of the wrestlers knew him. But he also had outside of the ring problems, like his brothers. He was smaller, even smaller than Mike, not physically able to pursue a career in the ring. He also had asthma, which kept him from participating in sports, but his father still pushed him to get in the ring. Apparently, Fritz had said that Chris was the best amateur wrestler in the group and had only lost one time, but he only was 5'5", 165 pounds, and was mostly kept out of the ring by Jerry Jarrett when Jerry Jarrett took over World Class. So very sad story. I can understand why they cut Chris out because the movie was already over 2 hours. But just a sad situation all around. And of course, Carrie ended up killing himself as well in 1993. Lacey Von Erich, Carrie's daughter, told me that she couldn't even watch the movie. She went to the premiere, but she couldn't even watch the movie because it hit too close to home for her. So rest in peace to all the Von Erich children who have passed away.